Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 64 of the Seercast. I am ePiKnight, and with me today is Ernj.
I'm pretty sure if we left the BCT final battle for long enough, the ghosts of both the Vanguards would have just randomly appeared.
Runic.
I have nothing to say, so raids.
Geena.
I have even less to say, so penguins.
Penguins. Thorlah.
I'm back again.
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 And we have Liem and Walter currently residing in the chat. Today, it has been a while, so we are going to go ahead and talk about the latter half of December. Actually, almost all of December, if not all of December. We're going to, so that encompasses Defenders, talking about the holiday event, Master Quest Point Cape briefly, the thing that was released last month that is supposed to resemble a quest, Beneath Cursed Tides, as well as a couple other things, and we're going to have a little bit of a discussion about the BTS and another brief discussion about the Rune Labs stuff that's coming out this month. So we'll go ahead and get started with Defenders, and Runic, I believe that is your expertise, so take it away.
Alright, so over December, Tier 70, Tier 80, and Tier 90 Defenders were released for Melee, and later up for Ranged and Magic as well. The Magic and Ranged ones are called Reprisers and Rebounders, respectively. To obtain said Defenders, you need to follow basically this order. You take a Dragon Defender and go through Barrows a ton of times until you get a Corrupted Sigil. Then you combine this Corrupted Sigil with Barrow's two-handed weapon, so that's an Aram Staff if you want a Rebounder, a Carol's Crossbow if you want a Repriser, and any of the melee weapons if you want just a standard melee defender. Then you go to Nex with your Tier 70 Defender of any type, and then you kill Nex a lot of times. Like, I'm still stuck on Nex, by the way. And then you get, what is it? I think an Ancient Emblem. You combine this with something from the Dungeoneering shop that's 100,000 tokens, and you get a Tier 80 Defender, or Rebounder, or Repriser. And then you take your Rebounder, Repriser, and all that to Nex, and... No, sorry, to Calphite King, and you go for a Perfect Chitin. And then
Kite.
You do this...
Kite.
Oh, Perfect Kite. I call it Chitin, though. It's Chitin.
Sorry.
Anyhow, you get Perfect Chitin, and then you combine it with either an offhand Drygor, a Seismic Singularity, or an offhand Ascension to get the Defender, Rebounder, and Repriser.
And here's where we have the obligatory Panic Cell Wands. Anyways, go.
Yes, Panic Cell Wands. Each of these components is a 1 out of 50 drop rate. However, for the Barrows chest, it's a 1 out of 50 per roll, so it ends up being 1 out of 16 for every chest. So, whatever. It's a bit too rare from Next, but I'll save that rant for another long day. Anyhow, so what these Defenders do is they have a lot of effects. They have the equivalent damage. At Tier 90, they have the equivalent damage and armor rating of a Tier 45 shield and offhand weapon. They can use both shield and dual wield abilities. And what else? Oh, they have a 3% accuracy boost, and they have a 1 out of 15 chance of having any damage coming into you. Alright.
Basically, they're very useful.
They're very useful for top-end tanking, is what it is. Though there is currently a small glitch that makes Tier 90 Reprisers and Rebounders slightly weaker. I don't know if that's been fixed yet, but they're slightly weaker than they should be. Anyhow, this means that with Tier 90, if you have a Repriser, if you have an offhand Defender and main hand, you should be dealing about 83% of the damage that you would be dealing if you were just standard dual wielding. So that is again really good, but again So
how much is it with a shield? What kind of percentage are we looking at with a shield? It's like 66?
Yeah, 66. Roughly. Yeah, it's about 66 roughly. So this is 83. So and with if you have a full Acto set, which very few people have at the moment, you can actually get it to be dealing more damage than dual wield,
Oh wow.
which is actually insane.
Yeah, that's all right. Well,
But thankfully, thankfully not. I don't even know 20 people who have full Acto yet. So, and I do a ton of raids. So I'm anyhow.
you are the resident PVMer. So yes.
Yes, I am the resident PVMer. So these things, they're incredibly useful for pretty much all forms of tanking. And they also come in fairly handy at, whatchamacallit, tank. Basically any top-end PVM tanking. I can't even list them. It's just all of them.
Well, I mean, saying all of them is pretty encompassing. So
it's pretty encompassing. Though I will say that that even though the ranged and magic ones are slightly weaker at the moment, they're still better than the melee ones because it's easier to tank with ranged and magic than it is with melee, for obvious reasons.
Yep.
Because screw Meleescape.
What even is melee? But
All
yeah.
right. So just to finish out, the main complaint with these things, and it's a complaint that I've had too, is that they're actually quite annoying to get. Not even difficult, just annoying. The barrels ones nobody really has had a problem with. They're 1 out of 16 per chest. But the next one is a 1 out of 50 drop rate, which, to compare, next pieces are somewhere between 1 out of 20 and 1 out of 30.
I thought they were all 1 out of 32.
I'm not quite sure. It's
I think I saw that number somewhere, but I'm not sure.
Walter probably has the number. Anyhow,
Anyways.
so this makes them quite a bit rarer than next pieces. And by all means, unless you're soloing, Nex is generally considered to be the harder boss between Nex and the Calphite King. Like really, Nex is very much harder than Calphite King. So it actually is kind of absurd to have Nex have such a very high low drop rate for the pieces when she's considerably harder than the Calphite King and dropping a weaker, component.
Yeah. Where would you put it though? Like what other?
I'd put it at just about 1 out of 35, which
just a better drop rate.
Just slightly rarer than the actual pieces.
Fair enough.
Because the Calphite Kings. Sorry. So the Calphite King's drop rate of Drygors is generally accepted to be 1 out of 40. So 1 out of 50 is just slightly rare. So it's very
fair
balanced. And there's also been some complexities with the loot share system.
Yeah.
So it's like loot share was making them incredibly rare, and they've been very broken with the loot share system. I'm not sure if that's been fixed yet either.
Yeah, what Walter says in the thread is that they're distributed outside of the standard loot share system, which means that the person that needs it most, which is the tank, doesn't get the drop because it goes to the person that does the highest deeps. So
yeah.
So that seems odd. It's good that these things are useful, though. I mean, obviously defenders have been useless for ages, and especially now that there's a range and melee, ranged and mage version of it, it's nice to see that be a thing again.
I will
They were
say
all the rage back in the day.
I will say personally, I would have preferred them not add a ranged and magic one, just because ranged already has its interesting niche of using 2H and shield abilities at once with shield bows.
Yeah.
So I would have liked melee to have something similar, and then I'm not sure. And no, Walter, I don't think they've buffed ranged and magic ones yet.
All right. Well, anyways, so that
moving on. That's kind of about it. Really.
Yeah. So that covers defenders pretty well. Next up, we can go and talk about the holiday event that was literally made for Seercast, which is the Pinch Who Stole Christmas. It was a 4-part Halloween. Oh my God, it's not Halloween. Holiday, Christmas, winter. I've said Halloween at least 3 times today. holiday event. It was a 4-part holiday event, and it featured penguins heavily, as it should. So yeah, it featured penguins heavily, and basically the general plot was penguins are trying to take over the world, as they should be, and are using Christmas as a guise to do so, and hiding in presents, knocking out adventurers, trying to knock out King Arthur, etc. So, yeah, they're just doing generally devious things, as we should expect, and as a whole, the event was highly amusing, and because of the inclusion of penguins, I think I speak for all of us when we say we loved it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really, really nice.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's basically we go to a present-laden iceberg off the coast of Demonheim. We search the presents for the missing snow imp, I believe. Then we do randomly make a deal with the penguins that involves food. They leave us alone. And that's the end of part 1 after we cook food for them. Although I do find it amusing that tasting food gives defense XP. Because as Walter says, you must have messed up the cooking process pretty badly. The cooking XP at first was very high, and that was nerfed pretty soon thereafter. So that was part 1. Part 2, penguins are guarding the Queen of Snow in present form. Jack Frost distracts them by using their love of sliding against them, and basically is ice skating around in a circle a few times. And you get an ice skating emote where you get cut off by a penguin. And it is also a highly amusing emote.
It is. It's one of the best.
You're just skating away, and then suddenly penguin.
Suddenly penguin, as it should be.
As it should be.
It's like, if I were to ever trip over anything while skating, I'd be fine if it was a penguin.
Yes.
Exactly.
The ice skating can be done after the event for agility XP, and it basically just has an anti-AFKing mechanism that makes you keep moving. So that's part 2. Part 3 is Operation Snowballs to the Face. You construct snowmen to fight for you, and you can continue making them after the event for construction combat XP. After you make the snowmen, the penguins attack you. You scare them off by defeating Snoverload, who has come back once again. Walter is making sure that I say that the music is amazing for Snoverload. You can technically heal them, and at this point you meet, is it General Pinchkin? I think it's General Pinchkin.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's the penguin that is in charge of this whole thing. Pinchkin is not happy that you took out the secret weapon, and then decides to come and try and finish the job himself, but you pelt him with snowballs to the point of trapping him basically in a snowman. So, he asks you to push him away from the slope since it's dangerous. You basically do the exact opposite because, the adventure's a troll, so, yeah. At least in the Penguin series. And Snoverload still spawns and stuff. Part 4 is where we set up a feast for the penguins, and we craft various things. Catch a bunch of fish, invite the penguins to the feast, and then go ahead and do other stuff. In the meantime, Pinchkin is continuing to be devious. He sends you to, quote unquote, a king with a with a present. The Snow Imp knows what's up, takes you to the King Black Dragon. The penguins pop out of the presents and go nuts.
They just freak out.
They freak out. And the penguins expected to be delivered to King Arthur as part of a plot to take over Camelot, but are instead in front of a very nice dragon that drops far too few copies of a certain book.
That had been one of my favorite parts. The penguins run around going, ah!
Yeah, the penguins panic and run around in circles screaming, ah! They sometimes fall down and stop screaming, but then they get right up and continue. It's great. There will be a screenshot in the video that I will actually post in a reasonable amount of time. Sorry, everyone. This time. But, yeah. And, the RuneScape Twitter has used the penguin scream in many recent tweets, and it never gets old. Obviously, Pinchkin wants fame and to rule Gielinor. We didn't let him, so we invite all the penguins to a traditional Christmas dinner, and that's where we catch a bunch of fish and invite the 12 penguins. The 2 penguins that were traumatized by the KBD are continuing to be traumatized until you mention fish, and then they're okay.
And everything is fine.
Everything is fine.
Yes.
Nothing. Yeah. In chat, it's just a pile of ah. Yeah, it was great. The reward for this whole thing is the Larry Penguin outfit, which is also amazing. It's a shame it's not an override, otherwise I'd use it everywhere, but it'll do. You can.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
can
forgot that Larry wore that.
Yep. You can technically make it into an override because of keepsake keys, which I believe are on sale right now. #sellout. Actually, I'm just selling out for penguins, so it's okay. But yeah, so you can technically make it into an override, which is a thing too. But also with this event, they did have a penguin plushie that was on Treasure Hunter, and again, we don't normally talk about the MTX stuff, but
like the one exception of the year.
The penguin plushie was worth it to get. I will say that.
Yeah, sadly, I missed it, but
yeah, Walter.
it's still good.
Walter spammed the chat. It was like, everyone needs to get this now. If you ever do this, it's like, now is the time. But yeah, so is there anything major that I missed from this event?
No, it was pretty.
Oh, I should mention the crafting XP. Where is the crafting XP part? So Walter has a free-to-play Iron Man account, and said free-to-play Iron Man account gained 2.2 million crafting XP, starting from 1 XP in about a week.
Yeah.
So now this free-to-play Iron Man, the account now has the crafting XP for every quest with absolutely no gathering, and is close to being able to make black d'hide chaps.
I'm just thinking back to my crafting experiences and just crying.
Yeah.
Because, wow.
Especially for Iron Man, Iron Man crafting has got to be awful.
Yeah, it would be 10 times worse as, normal crafting. And here they are, you just stand in one place for a week.
Yeah.
Chipping away at ice blocks, and
there you go, 2.2 mil XP.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. But, oh well. I mean, at least it isn't as bad as the 6 mil fishing XP per hour that we'll get to briefly in a little bit, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, is about right.
Yeah. So basically, Walter's Iron Man is like an event peer now.
Yes.
Because he took advantage of the beach event for a cooking XP, and it was equally as just insane.
Mm-hmm. All right. But yes, so we have that, and so that covers pretty much everything for the holiday event. What we also want to mention is that the Master Quest Point Cape is finally released. It is finally in game, and Walter's the only one that has it from us.
Yeah.
Rip Ernj.
Rip me.
Rip Kitten.
And Kitten.
Yeah, Kitten.
Kitten, I think the only thing left for Kitten is Last Riders, and Ernj has the unfortunate being wrecked by RNG situation.
Thing that shouldn't be a thing, but is still a thing. Because things.
Yep. Missing the Calgar Journal. Of
Calgar
all things.
I need to just get back into it. I've just lost all motivation.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, whatever.
Anyone who's had to try that many times for supposedly 1 in 4 journal.
Yeah. Supposedly 1 in 4. I don't believe
Theoretically.
that. That's obviously a lie.
Well, I mean, Geena had the same issue with Yak, so
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, Walter mentions that he is the only Seercaster with one, even though he hasn't technically picked it up. God damn it, Walter,
Walter just
for science. Okay, well, anyways, we are now at the part of the obligatory we have to talk about new quest part.
Apparently there was another quest this
Apparently there was a quest in December. You can tell how excited I am of talking about it.
And it sucked.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are going to
Yeah.
sugarcoat this at all. I believe this is in the top 1 of worst quests made, at the very least because of the just how lackluster it was.
Yeah. Well, I will praise the music. I kind of like the music, but
Yeah, the
Well,
adaptation
well.
of the music was nice, and the graphics. None of this goes towards the graphics team. The graphics
yeah.
are
Yeah.
great,
Good
Yeah,
job,
Ray has
graphics
all
team.
this.
but
You know what you're doing.
the actual quest, the logic fails, the plot fails, the fact that it doesn't actually follow anything that the suggester wanted of the quest combines to make this just like it felt. I've never felt after doing a quest like I just wasted time, and this
Not
was
even one small favor felt like I was wasting time.
no.
Like I got somewhere in the
Yeah.
end.
Uh-huh.
And as
Yeah.
much as people complain generally about stuff like Salt in the Wound, like in the end, it's a reasonable quest with good mechanics that just has a giant plot / lore fails in it. This has no lore. It has a very questionable thing that kind of almost resembles a plot, and
Maybe?
it's
Sorta?
just like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
We
it's
expect
just-
more out of you.
I know
It's
sometimes it's a bit rough, but come on, guys.
It's almost like they saw, okay, Tutorial Island quest, we can use nostalgia to cut down on some of the things we have to do, and then just went with that.
Yeah.
And the Hydromancer's like a tier 6 god.
Yeah.
he's doing?
Like, seriously.
I mean, where's
so,
his cult?
so we'll just kind of start at the top with any kind of complaints. First things first, the quest was suggested by Guitar Girl in Rune Labs.
I'm so sorry, Guitar Girl.
Yeah,
so sorry.
I'm sincerely I sincerely apologize for the existence of the final product of this, because she
This is
specifically
not it.
mentioned that she doesn't want the place to be called Tutorial Island. Obviously it is. She specifically mentions that she doesn't want it to be Nostalgia Quest, which it is, and she specifically mentions that she wants Crash and Lore, which we didn't get. It's like, come
I mean,
on,
they showed
guys!
up,
Yeah.
Sorta.
What even are the things that they turn? Are those Crashins? Like, what even? We don't know.
Maybe? I mean, they throw Crashins at the end. They're just like, hey, we're here for the
Yeah.
party. And then you shove them out of the way.
Yeah. We're here.
See, we're here. Oh, no.
Got him.
Wait, it's our cue. Let's go.
Yeah. But and then you have the villain is an ex-Hydromancer turned Dark Wizard that can apparently terraform the planet and curse people and can breathe underwater and
Is able to do magic that isn't invented yet.
yes,
Yeah.
I just
And apparently was still hanging around on the island, waiting for somebody to break their curse.
Yep.
I
For
didn't.
whatever reason.
Yeah, I didn't realize this, but when you get underwater, you read a note that outright tells you the plot of the entire quest. A dark wizard that went to Evil Dave's school of villainy, but actually is intended to be a legitimate villain, got trapped on Tutorial Island after he messed something up involving portals. Angry at being forced to do things on the island, he curses it to the bottom of the sea.
Yep.
Right.
There you go.
All
Quest
right.
complete.
Alright, we're done.
There you go.
That's all you need to do.
Welcome to Rune Labs.
Woo.
Yeah. But yeah, you basically, the plot of the quest is basically do Tutorial Island again. Or do Tutorial Island,
Sorta.
in parentheses, again. Because
Yeah.
not all of us did it again. Did
Yeah.
it for the second time. That was my first time. And I was not amused.
Why
But
can't he just portal out? If he's so great with portals.
yeah, they get bubbled and somehow could not get off of Tutorial Island. Yeah. Yeah, Lime says he didn't enjoy going through Tutorial Island the first time, let alone subsequent times.
All right, I'm gonna break my vow of silence.
Oh, jeez.
So
Uh-oh.
I can properly rant about this.
Oh god.
I hated tutorial, like me and my friends, and this was way back in 2007. Yeah, it was 2007, November or October or something like that. Me and my friends, we would just rant at nauseum for hours about how terrible Tutorial Island was. And our one friend was like, "Oh no, it gets better, guys. It gets way better."
Oh, it gets better.
Yeah, and we were like, "Okay, we'll just go along with it." And oh my god, why? Like, the Rune Labs pitch was good. I thought it would turn into Nostalgia Quest from the beginning, but the pitch was, and honestly, the best tutorial that RuneScape ever had was the Troll Warzone. But
Yeah.
Tutorial Island Quest, mechanically, it wasn't good because it was a shoestring budget. The mechanics, they were so simple that it was like, okay, I'm not 6. Can I have something now? Like, can I have... It would have been nice if we actually had a legitimate boss.
Well, honestly,
got
the boss
Voldemort.
was...
Underwater Voldemort.
The boss was okay. Like, the boss was like, okay, they're gonna Kamehameha blast each other until you click on enough like, okay, fine. It's a free-to-play level 30 quest, sure. But
Then
Okay. This is all they get.
you go through all this crap, like the cooking the shrimp, the making salad, and then there was that weird you can't see anything fight sequence.
oh, that was like, what? Why?
Yeah, like I could
Now
see
I
what
can-
the point behind that was. The point was they would be able to cut the graphics so that they wouldn't have to do anything super intensive, and they can recycle an old mechanic. The problem was that the way that they framed it was terrible.
They didn't actually tell
It
you what
was-
you needed to click on.
Like, the best description I can give it is that was the dumbest clever way to reduce cost ever.
Now
This is
I
the
can pretend
dumbest,
to
clever
hold
way.
Two-handed swords in one hand. It's sorta,
But only underwater, because
but only underwater.
the force of gravity is not as much when you're underwater.
Because physics.
That's how that works, right?
No.
Not
No,
even
that's
remotely.
not like that.
No joke, just blatantly like, yeah.
I'm
No.
not even a physics major.
I am
But no,
that
that is
not
not how it
impressed with
works.
this, that I will just plow through a joke.
Barometric pressure. Barometric pressure.
At least we're amusing ourselves with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walter's
Yeah,
right.
it's
It is
harder to
literally
swing a
the
sword
opposite.
underwater. It's harder.
It is indeed harder to swing a sword underwater. But yeah, like the blind fights, like they say he says like click on the ripples, and it's like those so then there are those little targety ripply things that, like, okay, you can click on those. And then rat faces appear. It's like, am I supposed to click on those? What am I supposed to do with this?
The answer is that you're supposed to click on the rat faces and not the ripples.
Oh,
Yeah.
I clicked on the ripples, and then I let the rat face sit there for about 30 seconds. I'm like, maybe I'm supposed to click on this? And then I clicked on it, and nothing happened. Nothing
Towards the
happened
end-
after I clicked on any of them.
Towards the end, I just clicked everything.
Yeah, just click everything.
Fair enough.
Don't even
Yeah.
worry about it.
If the solution to your puzzle is click randomly, you're doing it wrong.
It
I'm
is a poor puzzle. That
I'm
was-
sorry, Jagex.
Yeah, that's
We're
not how
usually
Mental
very
Workshops
supportive.
works. People may complain and say that's how it works. That's not how it works.
No.
And the fact that Manaka is supposed to be our partner in this, and he just randomly decides to make things harder for us.
And suddenly we call him Senpai, and I want to rage quit.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
who wrote that line?
I don't know, but I want to throw them into
like-
Tutorial Island.
Okay.
There's at
Well-
least 10 different people you might call senpai. Not random Slayer Master you use for 10 minutes.
There's absolutely nobody in the entire game that I want to call senpai. Nobody.
What Lime just said.
I
Yeah,
will
that's true.
admit that I was wearing the diving suit at that
I
time.
was too.
I went out and changed to the underwater breathing spell just so I could take a picture of me saying that in my hat. I will admit that.
Got him. Gothic
And out of the
Senpai,
souvenir, I
please
will take
notice
away from
me.
this quest.
There you go. Walter's got it.
Oh my god.
But-
Gothic senpai.
For the love of God, what was this? And can we just talk about that reward?
Yeah, we'll get
Oh,
there in
yeah.
just a second. I also want to mention the stupid love crap thing that there
Oh,
that just kept coming. I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys, what the hell is this?
Oh, and at the beginning, I thought the main character was a guy. Like,
Yeah.
I legit
Wait,
thought...
really?
Yeah, I did. You can see it on video evidence.
Yeah,
there was a
there's-
citrus edition.
Wow, Lime.
I was like, oh, wait, what?
Oh yeah, the banker.
You know, if it was a guy, then that would be more interesting.
How did the banker die years ago when technically for Gilnorians it's only been a year?
Yeah, it's been like 6 months.
So this
And
is
there's
like
only
a
one
time-
banker when there's actually two of them there. The other one apparently just vanished or
He
something.
just there were
got
two.
And the
Right
quest
now-
tutor said, "This isn't a quest, man. I'm out."
I mean,
Yeah, but
we
well-
agree with that though.
Yeah, that's why he's not there. Quest
He's
tutor
like,
agreed with
I'm
us.
not associating myself
Yeah.
with this crap. He just
I'm
rage
out.
quits.
Yeah, but both the quest tutor and it was like the RuneScape guide or whatever at the very start just got on the nearest boat and left.
They were having none of this.
Oh my
I
god.
couldn't find Skippy.
But yeah,
Where is Skippy when you need him?
but yeah, so that's this quest that is like I'm sorry, we are usually really supportive of the Jagex teams and stuff, but like, come on, guys.
That
Yeah.
was
Come on, guys.
terrible.
There's a limit.
Like,
like,
the watch needs to step up their game. Like,
Please,
what?
please.
They gave
But
us
it's like-
raids and then just nothing.
It's like people are talking about the Deg quest being the best part of this quest. That is a problem. I'm
Like-
sorry.
They need to define themselves. Because way back when, Mod Chris L was what defined them.
Yeah.
They need to do something worthwhile.
Mhm.
Well, anyways,
I'm sorry, that's just me ranting, but
Yeah.
come on.
Before we rant too hard, I do want to mention the D&D afterwards.
Oh, dear.
Whereas today I did it, and I was getting XP drops of 14k fishing. Just casually getting 14k every second or so. It's like, that seems balanced, right?
Yeah, like I'm maxed and I did that and I just saw the fishing circle just go all the way around. I'm just like, wow, I haven't seen that in,
What?
like,
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I
just...
kind of feel guilty about doing this D&D with how close I am to 99 farming. It's like, do I dare just kind of easy
the
my way
only-
No,
through?
I'm doing it shamelessly because it's there, but
The-
I'm like, it's It's sad.
The only reason I did it is because I'm both 99 fishing and farming. I was like, oh, now I get to just lull and use up all of my boats. I had 200k fishing bonus XP, and I used up all of it. I'm like, what?
Oh my gosh.
What is this crap?
Like,
Oh my god.
even the fact that it's monthly D&D doesn't.
Yeah, because I have
the fact
those
that it's
recharge
monthly.
tokens just sitting in my bank waiting around to be used.
Best part is
I could do
apparently
it twice.
Yes.
there was a bug with the
Yeah,
fishing
there
one
was a
where
bug.
you couldn't find the cucumber, and so you could just casually AFK it for 6 million fishing XP an hour.
Holy moly.
What?
Yeah, they had to roll back and issue a ton of temp bans for that.
Yeah, apparently somebody was, what was it? Somebody was showing the bug to a JMod and got banned on the spot. Like auto banned on the spot. While showing it to it, like it's like, holy crap. If you're I just have no words for this entire sequence of updates.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's me. The Timbo tree in Varrock. Tiny little thing.
apparently
The Adventures
it's
of a Tree.
so overpowered that they won't be adding it to monthly D&D tokens.
It's like,
It's so overpowered that it can't be added, and apparently Timbo literally noped it out.
Speaking of Timbo, shout out to whoever it is that gave King Raw the little bit of content. I know that after all my years of pestering, somebody heard me, so thank you.
Somebody listens.
Oh, but they heard you, and now they're getting ready to kill him.
Yep, sure.
They not. They
Yeah.
better not.
Anyways, unless there's any more ranting, is there anything else constructive we want to say about this quest?
I kind of liked the dialogue with the whole cooking of the shrimp thing. Kind of. Like, that was cute in the moment.
Oh, where she's like, oh, they usually burn it first. You need to go and burn it.
Like, I kind of liked that little.
I did find that bit a little bit amusing because it is like the first thing that you remember from RuneScape is burning shrimp or burning something.
Yep.
I have to say, like, the only good piece of logic was that you can't burn things underwater. No, you can't burn logs underwater. So you're like, wait.
So how are we supposed to cook things?
Yeah, and then when you chop a tree, the tree branch just floats up.
It goes up. It's like
I was like, what?
I also don't believe that's how physics works, but okay. I believe the way that physics works is if you're below about 30 feet, things lose their buoyancy. So it wouldn't go up unless we're like 20 feet underwater.
Yeah.
The Tutorial Island kiddie pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
If we
Again,
could literally
depending on how deep-
just swim up a little bit and then we're fine. It's like just scuba diving at this point.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
whatever.
the water's so shallow that...
Let's
it would be
just say
classified as a dive.
that
And if
this-
the water's that shallow, how the hell did they lose it?
Yeah! Like,
You could see it from ships.
Yeah.
Anyways, whatever. We need to
Let's-
be done with this.
Yes, let's just say that this quest is so bad that I haven't even done it yet. And I always do quests on minute of release.
I did it this morning, and I was disappointed that I lost an hour, but whatever. Anyways, from that, we're gonna go on into something slightly more lore focused.
And now for something completely different.
Yeah, now for something completely different. So, also in the I guess this is still part of the watch, but an older update. The mod Ramen's Red Orb Hunt was, at least part 1, was finished. So if you get from... I can't remember what you get the green orb from.
You give bricks,
you give bricks.
limestone
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then you give the trinket that you get from that on trinks, and that gives you an orb. And it gives you a green orb. And then you use the orb on the ancient statue, you teleport quickly to the blood altar, use it to get the red orb, then you take it back to the statue, get a vibrating red orb, and the orb said vibrating red orb can be talked to, and the dialogue is kind of unnerving. So it pretty much says, I see you, you're nothing compared to me, this world is weak. Pretty much says that it pretty much just instills fear in the player.
Mm-hmm. And then while you're like trying to get rid of it, your hands can't move from the orb. Like it's stuck to it. And it's creepy.
And then it says, Be still, you're unworthy. It does not end here. Do you not see it? Do you not see me? Return to where it all began. What a strange creature you are.
It is interesting if there's... Island, by the way.
It is interesting if... well, that's not surprising. If there are runes in your inventory, it says, I wonder, how do those work? So it seems like this is a giant teaser for Raids 2, is what it seems to me.
Yeah.
But other people have had other opinions on it. Some people think it might be linked to the vampires, to Tuska. Mazcab's Anima Mundi would be Raids 2. Some people are also thinking it is related to a sixth elder god, but I don't know about that. The reason that they think that is because of the dialogue. The name of the thing that you're talking to has 3 question marks, so people are like, "Oh, that's clearly 3 letters," and I don't buy that.
I don't know about that.
I don't buy that at all.
It might be related to at most at this point. I feel like it could be kind of an Elder God's version of like the Dragonkin or the Takhar, kind of an agent of an Elder God, maybe.
I think it's more of like the Mazcab version of Virago, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it's like that Anima Mundi was shattered by Tuska. It was just devoured. So like a Virago type entity on Mazcab would not be happy. Would not
Well, yeah, but Mazcab kind of has Virago-like entities in the form of the elementals.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, and that's
Mars and Actau.
Yeah,
and
we're missing 2. Those are Raids 2.0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what that's what I thought of. Also, I mean, technically, this is basically Gall Hunt V2. Also, Stu, you should do another one.
Yes.
Hi, Stu.
Well, no, this is Ramen's.
Well, no, I know that's what I mean, but it's Ramen's version of the Gall, and the Gall gave Elder God lore, so people are like, "Oh, I guess it'll be Elder God." I don't think
also,
so.
mods do. Keep up the awesome, man.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Who's working on Nomad's Elegy for next month? Is that
Raven?
Oh, it's Raven.
Yeah, that's the Dukes.
Well, that looks like somebody I care about in the game lore is going to die again.
Yep. Rip. Rip.
Anyone want to take bets now?
We'll just take bets on who dies. All right. Walter says in chat, it's clearly talking about the Elder God door, which is clearly. I mean, it makes sense because of door deg.
Doors close really fast. There can be wind generated from the door.
It's clearly door deg.
Clearly door.
Door deg. Anyways,
no, Walter, no.
since you'll have that amazing graphic up on screen right now, and we'll go right into the BTS. So this is obviously about 2 weeks late because of busyness / surgeries. Multiple surgeries for multiple people in the Seercast. Yeah, but yeah. So the BTS January. Luckily, the major part of the BTS, which is Invention, is still a week and a half out. Liem is spamming in chat because his hype meter is over 9,000.
It is broken.
Yeah, it broke.
Registered. What's all this about his resource of hype?
All men must hype. Liem is using up every bit of his non-renewable hype resource.
Yep.
He saw the podcast that Moltaire did on Invention a couple days ago, and while we won't talk about it much here, in fact we won't talk about it like at all, I would recommend going and looking at it as as a preview as to what's coming out. We've talked
Absolutely.
about Invention ad nauseum in probably 5 other Seercasts in the past, so we're not going to go into too much depth here. Other than it's coming out in a week and a half, we will have a podcast probably the following weekend as a first week of Invention. This is what we think, as well as February BTS, where we get to spam about Nomad's Elegy. So that's that. But anyways,
Random note, Malter literally just posted this hours ago, but degrade to dust items will not be able to be augmentable with Invention, which is very annoying for me.
Rip.
Because augmenting Tectonic, Malevolent, and Serenic is now not possible, which...
That was how I was going to go and augment, which, to be fair, would probably make them super overpowered.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're going to be able to augment so much stuff that's going to be so overpowered that I'm just really disappointed that we won't be able to augment those.
You're worried that those are going to be useless because they can't be augmented, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying now.
Oh,
they could also... Well,
Yeah, well, I mean, and then the kicker is that Maltair also just confirmed that if you died your Serenic, then you can augment it. So if
Wait,
you want to
what?
augment it...
So that means that they're it sounds like is that they're going to make an augmentable and a non-augmentable version of those.
Yeah.
And that's what you'd be using.
No.
Which
Why dies?
They said that they're going to look at it after release, but they said that basically they don't want to do it because that screws up the balancing of degrade to dust stuff.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Absolutely.
But then again, they did dyed things, and they still made that fairly balanced, even excluding the fact that to dye items it's like 1 bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, because dyeing it makes it doesn't degrade to dust. Yeah, so oh jeez.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, nothing. No one died.
You saw nothing?
No one died.
Nothing.
Okay. Walter says he should go buy next sets. Please no. But yeah, so Invention. We're hyped for Invention. We're looking forward to it. I'm stockpiling up Ernj's. Lime is stockpiling up
I'm gonna
whatever he's stockpiling,
And I'm foolishly not stockpiling anything and going to be broke on release.
I think that's the rest of us. I'm not stockpiling any of the secondaries. I'm just spamming divination energies because I can.
Yep.
Actually, I'm kind of stockpiling. I'm stockpiling on high-level items. I have enough port resources at this point to build a second set of every single superior.
Yeah, I pretty much have that too.
So if you can dismantle them into something good, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. This was a goal I set right after I hit 99 divination, but I was going to get in 5,000 energy increments. I was just going to go ahead and collect 5,000 pale, 10,000 tier 2, 15,000 tier 3 of all the divination energies, and I'm pretty much I'm a third of the way done with that, and just there's something to waste time on, even if they're not particularly useful on release. Hey, I did it, and I have a nice rainbow thingy in my bank, so it's whatever.
I think it'll have a good use, at least once they release everything. For sure.
It's the low-level ones you'd think would be be sellable on release for significantly higher, especially quantities of 5K of them.
Oh yeah.
Nobody does that. So
well, they have told us what we're going to be doing with divination energies, which is the gear that we augment. The way you charge it is with divination energies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
and
you're
considering that,
and
and it's looking that using augmented gear is how you train divination. Invention. So yeah.
Yeah, you'll definitely make a good hefty profit at minimum if you sell it off.
If I sell it off, we'll see.
But I don't.
I'm just gonna derp around with that. That's a good thing to do while watching football games or whatever. So
you know what? I should do that today.
Yeah. we have football games to watch in an hour, right? Yeah. But yeah, so that's that.
I'm not on until 7 o'clock.
Well, I'm going to be watching the game. Anyways, I'll be watching both games, and I'll be spamming divination all the while. But yeah, so that's Invention. Looking forward to that. That's in a week and a half. Stay tuned for a podcast on that in about 2 weeks. Also happening this month, and has been happening, obviously, is the 15-year celebrations. Those kicked off. You have the party hat cracker cape thing. You have the skilling speech bubble and that stuff, and all the statues and the bonus XP and the balloon popping and stuff.
And the title.
And yeah, and then there's a title as well that goes along with all of that, and then the drop. But yeah, so I mean that's just kind of a thing. I mean, it kind of is what it is.
Yeah, I mean it's not game breaking. It's not like it's terrible. It's just a thing to do.
Yeah, I will say that the 100 party hat fragments can be combined into a 15-year party hat that's basically the gnome child's hat. And to that I ask, why?
That's what I'm wondering. Why?
Do you really want this game to be a giant meme? And if the answer is yes, don't answer that question.
Yeah.
I would.
Yes, I would.
I'm just looking at the old school crap that they're doing that is basically just a pile of dank memes, and it's like, come on, guys. I have no faith in you to begin with. Don't lessen my lack of faith.
I would have expected like a cabbage hat or something.
Yeah.
Considering cabbages were all the rage when I first started out in 04.
But whatever. But yeah, so every half hour there's a version of the drop, and they drop balloons, which you go and pop for pieces of said 15-year party hat. You get stuff from Party Pete. You get XP from the drop, as well as the title. You unlock a bunch of emotes from collecting statues from around the free-to-play. And you can have cake that is rather overpowered. But
Yeah, I think the whole collecting statues is pretty nice. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Although
the cake did not save Lime at Araxor, though. Rip Lime.
Yes.
Oh,
Rip Lime. The reason none of you have heard Lime today is because he had an experience with Araxor.
Yep.
Yeah, he's traumatized.
Yeah, we'll have a picture of that up right now because why not? But yeah, so there's that. So the 15-year celebrations will continue throughout the year. They're adding bits and pieces to that. I think it's to one of the emotes, to like the dance or something, as the year goes on. So I guess stay tuned for that. But yeah, so there's that stuff. Also, we have our favorite reused winter content of Hattie's skull, ear, and Fenrir. Ire?
Ooh.
Ire? I think it's Ire.
Remnant content.
Yep.
Yay.
I wouldn't
Come
call
on,
this
guys.
Maybe we'll
content.
get
Let's do
little
some
more
new
lore?
Remnant content.
Maybe we'll get some more lore. I mean, last time when they introduced the Ire, it's become very heavily implied that she's the Fremnik version of Death, so cool, I guess.
Come on, guys. More Remnant content.
Let's hope
Please.
we get some
No
lore.
fake outs this time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
maybe
been a lot of
Okay.
sadness in various chats about how the last time we got Freminic content, it was actually God content, which was actually Dragonkin content. So
You guys pull the
Rage.
rug out from underneath me. Come on, guys.
we could have had
Give me something.
Acheron.
Give me something.
Yeah, Lon, you did try.
All right,
One did try.
but yeah, okay. So
Kudos to him. He's getting a free keg for that.
yeah, Hattie Skull, Iron, Fenrir are the same thing as what's happened in the past.
I'm not. Just wait. Before we move on from them, I'm not going to make up lore here, but we have a new wolf this year, and this year we're also having Slisk's endgame. So
Slisky.
I'm just saying.
Like
Well,
that.
where's the giant world-devouring serpent then?
So
Unless
maybe
this
the
guy's
end-
turning into a giant
Maybe the end
Yormungandr.
of times is here, and maybe Sliske is a snake.
No, oh no. Now they're
Let's
going to
stop.
turn Sliske into Yormungandr. We're
Also,
doomed. And that means I'm dead. Because
Rip because Rip Thorlah.
that's
Right.
Yes.
Thor dies to Yormungandr.
There,
Rip me.
there's your
Rip
Seercast,
me.
and there's your dose of made-up lore.
Don't get any ideas, Matt Osborne. Please. No.
But okay, so Hattie, Skull, Aaron, Fenrir are here. They're doing the same thing they've done in the past. Anyways, so the last thing we want to talk about with this episode is Rune Labs. So Rune Labs is back up and running. There was the poll, or not the poll. There was the what's it called? The proposal process went back up, and it was suggest a new area for the team to work on, and the areas that came out of the poll, much to Liem's chagrin, as his suggestion was Acheron, was Eastern Lands, proposed by Avernic, Fossil Island, proposed by Hellring, Fang's proposition of Menaphos, and one of the Armadillians, I think Armadin was the proposer of Abina or Abina. So
yeah.
that's that. Those four came out. They're in the poll right now, and currently I believe Eastern Lands is winning fairly significantly.
Yeah.
The last I checked, I'm waiting on a current updated number. Last I checked, it was 49% for Eastern Lands, 31% for Fossil Island, 29% for Menaphos, and 22% for Abina. But
Alright, I just pulled the numbers up, so current numbers are as follows. Eastern Lands, or the ARC, has 15,000 votes, which is 45%. Fossil Island, 10,865 votes, 31%. Menaphos, 28% of the votes, 9,830. And Abina, 7,739, 22% of the vote. And I Don't Mind has 11%.
Yeah. I actually know that there are a lot of people that voted I Don't Mind because, like, any of those four are fine, honestly. I voted for Abina and Eastern Lands, just because I'm leery about Menaphos without a quest, and Fossil Island just doesn't interest me. But, you know, it's honestly, at a certain point, it's like, all four of these are going to be great. Like, there's no saying, oh, one of these is going to just be bad.
Yeah, we are not losing, no matter what the outcome is.
Though I would like to mention that, and Fang got really mad about this when Jagex first released the poll, that the Eastern Lands is just the ARC, which is the first of the
first set of islands.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. All of Fossil Island is an island. Like, they're going to be about the same size. Like, we're not going to get a giant continent from the Eastern Lands. We're going to get a series of islands that may expand over time. It's also kind of one of the reasons I'm liking Eastern Lands as a choice more than some of the other ones, is because there's a lot of room to kind of grow with the Eastern Lands.
Yeah.
And same with Abina, honestly. Like, as much as Abina's been like poisoned because of how much some of the Armadillians have been spamming it for years now. But that's, people wouldn't vote for that more because of the spam that has come out of a certain subset of players.
Yeah.
Rather than because they don't actually want it in game.
That's kind of the whole reason I did not vote for Abina.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame though, because I'd love that region, just because it's another planet, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and the concept that we got for it back when, that really sounded interesting.
Yeah, if you're new here, I guess I should say, the Abina was teased well over 2 years ago. It was like October 2013. In like the earliest concept stages of a Rite of Passage quest that never made it through those super early stages. But the way that it was proposed then was fantastic, and people like kind of latched onto that and was like, I want this and I want it now. And it's just a certain group of people have pushed a little bit too hard as a whole, and have made a lot of people kind of be like, I want this to not be in game just because of these people, and while it's childish, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
They soured it for everyone, even the J mods, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, the J mods are tired of hearing about Abina too. It's like, like, come on, guys. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but anyways.
Well, rip Abina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rip Abina getting dead last in like the 4th poll. I mean, you just see it over and over again. Like the polls speak for themselves. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, so it looks like we're getting the Eastern Lands.
I will say it entertains me.
It does. But it looks like we're going to get the Eastern Lands as of now, unless something major changes. But we'll see how the votes.
It never does.
The Eastern Lands interest me a ton, like right off the bat,
Mhm.
because I want to just see how they'll use it to influence our ports in some way.
Yeah, or
Because they kind of have to.
or just like because it's another culture. Like how they're going to present another completely different culture. Because like honestly, most of the mainland, especially when it comes to human settlements, they're all generally the same. But the Eastern Lands is made out to be just different. It's just very different. I'm just curious to see where they take it. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm
gonna future plug this, but I'm planning to put up a quest suggestion for Eastern Lands content. So can I plug?
Go for it.
All right. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be called the Wrath of Khans, but I'm not entirely sure yet.
Khan!
Exactly. It's gonna focus on the backdrop of it is an ongoing war between two Khans in the Eastern Lands, and mysteriously, one of the unaffiliated Khan's daughters is kidnapped by pirates. And the thing is, you're pretty sure that one side kidnapped them, but you don't know which side.
Someone kidnapped her.
And then the adventurer gets kidnapped as well.
Oh, of course.
Dun, dun,
Dun dun dun.
So that's the quest. You're
Spoiler alert.
You're helping freeing yourself and the princess, and you're gonna gain the favor of a Khan as well while doing it. Oh, you're fighting pirates and everything.
Oh, good. Oh, by the way, you're fighting pirates too.
It's
Does it involve a nexus?
pirate slaver
And bridges falling on people?
Please no.
You gotta have a bridge fall on somebody.
Please no.
Are these going to be ninja zombie monkey pirates?
Oh God.
No.
Oh no.
Slaver
Well, they
pirates.
should be.
But all right. So that is Rune Labs. We have. So if you have not voted yet, please do. Just go ahead and do that. Put your vote, even if it does seem like it's out of reach. I don't think that they're just taking the percentages at face value. I think they're also looking at the number of people that are interested in these other regions. Like, would there be people interested in a future Fossil Island content? Well, this poll says there is definitely a yes. There are definitely a lot of people that are looking that would be interested in that. So.
And Monmark's gonna have a big smile on his face for that.
Oh jeez. Yeah, same thing goes with Menaphos. Honestly, same thing
Which
goes with
makes Mon
Abina.
Riley happy. Yay, Mon Riley.
Yay.
Yay.
We miss you, wherever you're hiding.
Wherever you're hiding. I know you're out there somewhere. Anyways,
You're doing something. Some big content.
he's
working
working
on
on
your
the
beard.
vampire finale, I believe.
Don't kill King Rob, please.
Maybe
Please,
Please
don't.
kill King Rob. Please.
Anyways,
You what?
I believe that pretty much
if he
co-
does, down with Raids, man.
I think that
Oh, you wanna go?
covers...
If we're getting
Guys. I believe that covers everything we wanted to in the actual podcast without us, like, going and killing each other. We'll be back in a couple weeks for an invention / probably February BTS version of the Seercast. So we will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching
Bye.
or
Bye.
listening.